This is a short summary. I created this using Notebook LM. These are not real voices.
Today we're diving into a huge dental standard, but is it actually giving us the right answers?
You want your filling to be strong, right? Well, that all depends on the cure. But are we measuring it correctly?
It's all about something called depth of cure, or DOC. That's the key to a filling strength.
And for years, the gold standard for measuring this has been an international one, ISO 4049.
The test itself is pretty simple. They use this tiny 4mm metal mold to make a sample.
But here's the kicker. Does this little lab test actually represent a real filling in your tooth?
Okay, look at this. The 4mm mold is way smaller than a real molar filling. That's a huge difference.
So that size gap got researchers thinking, what happens if we use a more realistic mold?
A recent study by Galati and his team did just that, comparing the 4mm mold to a larger 6mm one.
And wow, the results were big. The 6mm mold showed a cure that was up to 22.5% deeper.
So what does this mean? The 4mm standard is likely underreporting how well these materials actually work.
But wait, it's not just the size. The mold's material turns out to be a game changer too.
Research from Price's team showed white Delrin molds gave much deeper cures than the metal ones.
Which makes sense, right? A tooth isn't an opaque metal tube. The test just isn't realistic.
Okay, so why are we seeing these big differences? It often comes down to the curing light itself.
Turns out, many curing lights have uneven beams. Think intense hot spots and weaker cold spots.
That tiny 4mm mold could easily just catch a hot spot, giving you a totally misleading result.
But a larger mold, it averages everything out, giving a much more accurate picture of the light's performance.
And get this, it's not just the size or material. The standard is actually measuring the wrong thing.
See, the cured material isn't a flat cylinder. It's actually shaped more like a bullet. And the ISO test just measures the very tip of that bullet, ignoring the shallower sides. That's a problem.
So when you add it all up, the 4mm metal mold test really doesn't seem clinically relevant.
The proposed fix is simple. Switch to a larger 6mm mold for more accurate, real-world data.
Why does this all matter? Better standards mean better materials and longer-lasting fillings for all of us.
So it really makes you wonder, right? If our standards don't match reality, what are we even measuring?
Thanks for listening. Here's the QR code so you can find the actual paper.